Hey YouTube, this is Ruskin Amusement Park Fan 62. It is Saturday, April 4th. 3rd. 3rd. Now, Cedar Fair. They own around 12 properties throughout the U.S., I believe. They own big name parks such as Kings Island, Cedar Point, Carowinds, Knott's Berry Farm, California's Great Adventure, among others throughout the U.S. But the biggest problem that they have in their parks is, as of this recording, they have the rights to the Charlie Brown characters, which is like Charlie Brown, Lucy, Snoopy, and all them. Now, the problem with that is a lot of the newer kids in today's day and age, at least, probably don't know who they are, and maybe when they go to a Cedar Fair park, that's the first time they've ever seen them. Now, other companies such as like Six Flags, they have the rights to Looney Tunes, DC Comics, among others. Disney has, franchises like, of course, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, all them, along with other different characters like, Leo and Stitch, among others. Universal has the Hulk, Minions, among others like that. Now, the problem with that is for a lot of kids know what the characters are for Universal, Six Flags, among others, but they don't really know about them. Now, some may, but the problem is that they need to kind of broaden more characters instead of just banking in on the peanuts. So maybe they could get something like Marvel. Except the problem is Disney owns Marvel, so they'd have to pay to get the rights for Marvel, since Six Flags has DC. That would be a good way to intribute like superheroes into the parks. And that way they can also make money off that. Like Six Flags does with Looney Tunes and DC. Because if you ever go into a Six Flags park, they have merchandise for Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweety, Sylvester the cat. And then they have merchandise and stuff for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Joker, Harley Quinn, among others. So something like that would be good in a Cedar Fair park, just so you don't get a lot of these repetitive names. Now, I know with Six Flags, you have rides that are called Batman, Superman, the Joker, Harley Quinn, and then Bugs Bunny Boomtown, stuff like that. But this, something like a DC or Marvel Comics type thing would be good in a Cedar Fair park, just to get them in that spirit, and then get something else that would bring them money. Because Cedar Fair, compared to Six Flags, is kind of a more expensive company, so to speak. Now, some stuff they're about the same price in. For example, like food, they're both around the same frame as far as how much they charge for food. Now, Cedar Fair may be slightly more on some things, and Six Flags may be slightly more on some things, but they're both about the same. Now, something like I said with Marvel, that would be good as to get them into that, as far as like competing against Six Flags. Now, I realize getting Marvel would not be a cheap thing to do. Um, but in the long run, that would help them out because that way you could go into one of the mini gift shops in these parks and see they have Marvel characters. And then that way you could also do the fight of where most people do the fight between Six Flags and Cedar Fair. You could also do DC versus Marvel, Marvel versus DC, etc. Um, Something like that would be good, just so they can get into just because financial wise, that would be a good investment to do. Because that they could bring in more money that way, since a lot of people, read comics for both and then know the characters for both. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? And if so, why on both? But please keep it as family friendly as possible.